What's up, Yu-Gi-Oh players? Welcome to my channel. I am D3 Air King, and today I want to give my idea for the game we all love, to bring a different style of fun. I will leave the entire idea in the comments. I also want to give a shout out to my amazing friends Donnie and Sid for helping me create this game mode for Yu-Gi-Oh! They always say they haven't done much, but honestly, if it wasn't for them helping me playtest this idea and give feedback, I'd still be adding more to it. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to kick your ass in plenty more duels. Alright, let's get into the topic at hand. Once again, I will leave the entire idea in the comments. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Time Rift, Maliic the Malignant Deviant. This is the standard version of my idea. I say that because I know you and your friends may want to change some things around that fit for your group, but this is the base template. If you have questions or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I put a lot of thought into this idea, and I hope everyone will grow to love it. The standard version of this game is 3v3, but you can play this however you want. To play, you will need your decks, 3 banned cards of your group's choice, at least one 6-sided die, a writing utensil, paper, and your group's imagination. The synopsis of the short story is that the main character Maliic stole his powers from his parents, turning them into his puppets, and would have done the same to his sister, Celica, but she escaped using their father's time staff. She then searches to find 3 duelists to defeat her brother Maliic. Here's where the role-playing comes in. You can either play on one of 2 teams, Maliic's team or the duelist's team. The base game consists of Maliic and his 2 parents as his dueling puppets. However, the puppets can be friends or family of the duelist team characters. For instance, if Duelist 1 is Yugi, then Puppet 1 can be Joey, Kaiba, or Solomon. Also, know that any era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Can be used in this idea. For the duelist side, you can be whoever you wish to be from Yu-Gi-Oh!, a character you created, or even yourself. Also, if more than one of you wants to be a certain character, like Jaden, then each player wanting to be Jaden should be a different version of him, such as Season 1 Jaden of GX, Supreme King Jaden, etc. The 3 standard banned cards for this game are Pot of Greed, Imperial Order, and Royal Decree. In this game, the banned cards are used as in-game special abilities to assist the duelist against Maliic. Now that the small stuff is out of the way, we can start the game. To start, we need to take 1 die for each team and roll them to see which team goes first. You may need to change the seating arrangement a bit, or just remember the order of all players. If Maliic's team is going second, your group could have an order of play starting with Duelist 1, then Puppet 1, Duelist 2, Puppet 2, Duelist 3, and finally Maliic. That might be the layout of your group's rotation. Next, we dimension the dice. This happens at the beginning of every rotation. Only during the first time we dimension the dice does Maliic and all of the duelists roll their dice together to see if they get a special ability. The puppet players don't ever dimension the dice. Also, for the rest of the duel, each player on the duelist team can choose to either roll the dice or not. If the duelist rolls a 2, 4, or 6, then they can gain access to the banned cards. Each duelist can choose the same one if they want. The Pot of Greed allows you to draw 2 on your draw phase, and for that rotation, your opponents cannot stop your effects that allow you to draw cards. Imperial Order allows you to be immune from Team Maliic spells for that rotation and negates their spells during your turn. Royal Decree makes you immune to traps for the whole rotation and negates Team Maliic's traps during your turn. If the duelists roll a 1, 3, or 5, they will receive damage equal to the roll times 100, or they can choose for their monsters, if any, to lose that in attack and defense. If Maliic rolls a 6 during the first dimension the dice, then they can put a god card to the side for later. If not, then they must take damage equal to the roll times 100. If any duelist hits 0 life points during this game, they must choose any 1 monster card for each of their teammates from their field, graveyard, or banish zone, even if face down, and then special summon those monsters to their teammates' field. Lastly, there are a few abilities Maliic can use throughout this grand duel. The first ability states that Maliic can choose 1 card from outside their deck to set to the side for later. This card must be something simple, such as Burden of the Mighty. Your card of choice must not be able to banish or destroy your opponent's cards. To use this card during Maliic's turn, the one playing as Maliic must pay 500 life points first. The second ability states that if Maliic has any puppets left on his team when his life points hit 0, he then takes the place of one of his puppets. So for example, one of the puppet players becomes the new Maliic. Also, if Maliic is down to just 1 puppet player plus himself, he gains the ability to draw 2 cards per his turn. The puppet players do not gain this ability. If Maliic already plays any card that gives him 2 draws per turn, like Time-Tearing Morganite, then he can't draw 2 more cards. If Maliic is alone and all puppet players are out of the game, Maliic is allowed to draw 3 cards per his turn. If Maliic already has a card giving him 2 draws, then he can just draw 1 extra card, making his total 3. Now, these last 2 abilities depend on if Maliic rolled a 6 or not during the very first to mention the dice. If Maliic rolls a 6, once he is the last one on his team standing, his life points are 1,000 or less, and only 1 duelist remains, Maliic may summon the god card that he chose earlier. Ra is given 4,000 attack and 3,000 defense. Slifer, the executive producer, is given an extra 1,000 attack added to his effect and 2,500 defense. The god card's summons cannot be negated, and they cannot be destroyed by card effects. If Maliic didn't roll a 6 during the first to mention the dice, once he is standing alone against the final duelist and his life points are 1,000 or lower, he can summon his highest attack monster from anywhere on the field, including the Banish Zone, but it must be face up or either from the main deck. However, the effects are negated for 3 turns. Burn decks in this game are allowed, but only the first time that team activates a burn card during each rotation does it do full damage. Every other turn during that rotation, the damage is halved. I want Yu-Gi-Oh fans to have fun with this idea. Yu-Gi-Oh needs a way to bring back the old feelings and ways we used to play, and I believe I've found a good start. Share my idea with your friends and family. Hopefully, Konami will consider and accept this game as a tribute to all the work they have done to keep Yu-Gi-Oh alive. Playtest this idea at least twice and remember to have fun. I'd like to give a shout out to these amazing content creators: Team APS, Rednew, Cali Effect, Joshua Schmidt, Mega Capital G, DP Yu-Gi-Oh, UAUZ, and Hyde Audio Dramas. I've listed a few more honorable mentions in the comments. To these awesome creators and anyone who supports Yu-Gi-Oh, may your subscriber counts continue to grow. I believe this video will reach every duelist who needs to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and subscribe for more. Until next time.